Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? The best platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination, where they give you the work, not the shortcut. I should probably start saying link in description. But anyways, work that lets you draw like this after 3 years and 7 months. Who am I? I'm Viggy. This channel is a repository to prove that A, anybody can draw, and it's a repository of my daily practice, or 5 days a week, 5 days a week, 1 hour practice? The fuck, yeah. The fundamentals are 90% of my practice. I only understand line form and perspective, and barely at that. And yet, because I understand line form and perspective, and because my fundamentals are so strong, my drawings are even stronger. Anyways, get your pen, get your paper, draw along. Fucking these intros are going to shit. I'm getting so tired of doing. How the fuck do YouTubers do this? How is every video? How are you supposed to be like, all right, guys, welcome back, welcome. Like, suck my dick is actually what my intro should be, but I don't think that's family friendly. So let's just say do that in Minecraft. How about that? Although Minecraft would get banned if that happened quite currently, or quite concurrently, quite frequently. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. But please get your pen, get your paper, draw along. Right, so what are we doing? But seriously, artwod is the fucking goat. If you want to learn actually how to draw in 3D and think in 3D and genuinely like just want a very easy fucking, not easy, sorry, a very easily laid out laundry list of exercises sequentially and categorized as per their theme, i.e. like just normal fundamentals, like intro to fundamentals, figure, portrait, right? I'm just laughing because of my middle finger, ha ha ha, funny. Anyways, yeah, figure, portrait, environments, architecture, everything is there, right? Your only job is to do 100 times the work they require of you and not be a little bitch about doing the work, right? If you just internalize that repetition is the number one thing, intentional repetition is the number one thing that's going to help you get better, and two, that this is a good thing for you and like it's actually very enjoyable to constantly try to figure something out and problem solve it, then congratulations, you're already 90% of the way there. The other 10% is just doing the work and extending the time horizon to decades. And then you have won. But what are we doing? We're doing the artwod portrait roadmap, no shit, as per the title, right? I'm in the part where I'm looking at a reference, I'm visualizing a box over the portrait reference, I am calculating the center lines, right? The diagonal cross axes on every invisible and visible plane, because I'm trying to see through the form when I visualize the box. And then I'm calculating the center planes, the three center planes inside the box, and then I'm calculating the ellipses inside those 3 center planes, and then I'm calculating the sphere that goes over them, that like encompasses them. I also have realized that this sphere was incorrect. It should have been more like this. That's actually why it didn't look proper, right? Like that's part of it. It should have been something more like this. There you go. That's a much better sphere, because a sphere is a perfect circle, right? So there you go. That is a much better sphere. Still has issues, of course, but that is a lot better in terms of like actually being reflective of a perfect circle. And because the thing is, like, for some reason I made the edge of the sphere go along the edge of this front plane, right, or the side plane, but that's not how it works. It's a 3D form, right? So it's not going along the edge of any ellipse. It's just intersecting at the edges of, it's traveling along the edges of this intersection, right? But there's like, I think there's some level of understanding in terms of like just how the space operates. You have to be able to understand how it works, but I don't know what I'm saying. I just feel as if that's more correct. And unfortunately, it's very unfortunate that I just said the word feel, because it's not about feeling. But for me personally, this makes a lot more sense in terms of the depth, Maybe this is wrong actually, because then this is the edge of this ellipse, right? This flat ellipse, this is the edge of over here. So maybe I got it wrong, and there's probably some other things that needed to be understood. But yeah, I probably got that wrong. Ignore that. That doesn't seem right to me. I think I just got the ratios of the ellipse and how I drew them is what created the incorrect ellipse, incorrect sphere encompassing them. But anyways, yeah, like that's what I'm doing. Basically what I'm doing, as per my description earlier, I'm trying to build this. I'm trying to build this. This is what I'm trying to visualize. Currently, I can only barely visualize the box, the center lines, the diagonal cross axes on every visible plane, as well as the center lines. And that's like the first steps to really try to visualize that, right? And drawing is thinking, right? This is all thinking. This is a thinking skill. So I'm going to think as hard as I fucking can, and already I've started to visualize the box, right? And I'm going to be ghosting a lot slower nowadays, right? But I've already started to visualize the box. I just need to get the correct X, Y, and Z axis down for this, right? But I'm pretty sure it's something like this, right? This is basically what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure it's something like this, right? That's the invisible, and then this is the visible, right? And that's my box. And I have to, obviously I just have to do it on this scale, right? But that is pretty close, to be honest. That's actually pretty fucking close. Obviously, this is a much wider degree, this back plane, right? Than this side plane, this visible one, right? But either way, that's just what I'm trying to visualize, is just this fuckery. And already, like, my brain struggles a lot to just visualize this scene through form, which is why we are, again, leaning into that discomfort, right? I'm really trying to lean into it. And now that I'm trying to visualize this, I'm already starting to try to think about the diagonal cross axes on every invisible and visible plane, because this is exactly the discomfort that my brain needs to be like, oh, okay, we got a cross axis here, then it juts out here, then we got one on the side over here, and then we got the bottom. These are all the invisible planes, right? And then we get the visible ones, right? And that has the cross axis, that has a cross axis. And again, my fingers aren't even ghosting it properly, right? I want to be very clear. Like, this is all just me plotting it out in my mind, right? But yeah, I hope you're drawing along. Hope you're practicing whatever fundamental that you are trying to be capable in, right? And I hope you're internalizing that it takes, oh, okay, so this is the wrong angle. I actually got this in the wrong angle. It is tilted. It is tilted it's much more tilted. Like, this is actually the tilt, right? You see here I did this. So that, what does that mean? That means my brain is acclimated to tilting things in this direction and not in this direction, right? So that's something that I can work on as well. So now it feels great because I'm, again, forcing errors, right? So I'm recalibrating my brain to tilt it as per the correct orientation of this woman's head, right? And this feels just the grind. And I don't like using that word because I don't mind the word grind. I think it's a good word. I don't like using the word because I know a bunch of people listening are pussies and immediately they're like, oh, the grind. I mean, if you're a hashtag Biggie Fammer, I assume you actually embrace the grind. Like, embrace the effort, embrace the work ethic, embrace just trying, right? Because grind is just trying. It's just effort. It's literally just effort as much as you can on a constant basis. That's all grind is. I really don't get why, like, there's a whole glorification aspect to it. You know, it might be just because people are so, in their own head, right? And yeah, like, I'm in my own head in another way, where, like, obviously I speak very seriously about art, and by the way, while I'm talking, I'm thinking, I'm drawing, right? And I'm trying to manage two different areas of my brain at the same time, which are both fighting for working memory, which is currently the parietal lobe for the narration and the prefrontal cortex for the actual act, right? And the narration is narrating the actual act, so it's very difficult. But right now, like, I can barely see the invisible X, Y, and Z, right? Z and X, right? I can barely see that, and again, I got the tilt wrong as well. You see, my brain constantly makes this tilt because it's very subtle, but it's not that subtle. It's this. It's more like this, right? That is much more accurate. So it's amazing because I get the opportunity to constantly revise this understanding, right? What was I saying earlier? But yeah, I think, like, people just, like, I'm very serious about my art, but I don't ever try to, like, glorify it, right? Because there's no glory. It's just effort. If there is glory is just in becoming the type of person who's capable of putting that effort in, right? But I don't think there's any glory, right? Like, this is just my personal opinion. I know everybody sees art differently. Like, there's an artist, if anybody knows about THU, right? Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn. They've done, like, a lot of great sketchbook. They're basically best known for my understanding for their sketchbook series, where they get a lot of incredible artists in. By the way, while I'm talking, I'm really trying to think about all this, but they're basically known for their really incredible sketchbook series, where they get a bunch of artists. Like, every episode is just like sketchbook series, this artist, right? And they had one artist who basically was like, yeah, I don't get the whole glamour about the whole art thing. It's just a fucking job, bro. It's just a skill. Just do your job, right? And he's like, none of this means anything. I don't give a fuck about any of this, right? I just do it because I'm good at it, and I do it because I do enjoy it, of course, but, like, I'm not so, like, I just don't have that whole, like, extremely deep artist sort of emotion behind it, right? Like, I do it because I enjoy it, and because I'm good at it, and because I see it as a proficient skill to get better at, right? This guy was, like, an extremely experienced artist, art director, like, prolific in the industry. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, right? But I'm like, but then there's other artists who are just like, it's all about the feeling. It's all about the emotion. It's about expression, right? So you're gonna get a bunch of those people. I'm in the complete middle, I would say, like, in the sense that I understand the merit of both. It is it is a skill. It isn't just like some woo-woo shit. Like, it is technical ability, right, in which this constant thought exists, right? I'm really trying to lean into the discomfort while I'm talking. Voice crack, but it is a technical skill where constant thought is occurring, constant thinking is occurring, right? And that is something that is not, it's not just like, oh yeah, just vibe it out. There's no fucking vibing out. Vibing out? The vibe, whatever you're vibing is a reflection of your technical ability. Let's be very clear. Like your vibing is just literally a reflection of what you're capable of. So if you're incapable or you're less capable, then your vibing is a reflection of how less capable you are. And it is great because that is just telling you like, oh, like I have these things to improve on, right? I'm not saying that in a mean way or a bad way. I'm literally just saying it as it is, right? Seeing reality clearly is my attempt to explain this. But then, yeah, I also do agree that expressing it is part of expression. Like once you are quote unquote vibing, you have your unique voice, your expression, your feelings, your life experiences, the way you interpret things. Those are also very important. But yeah, I'm just saying, like I like the fact that there exist these two schools of thought, and maybe there's most likely many more, but these are the two general schools of thoughts that I've noticed, right? One thought here, one thought there. Both of them are shaking their butt, saying, "Come and think about me, think about me," and I'm like, I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm unfaithful. I think about both of you. But anyways, let's see. Okay, so I'm really gonna try to visualize the entire scene through box right now. Box voice crack. I'm really gonna try to internalize the entire scene through box right now in the correct angle with the scene through form, right? And then now I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to hold it to the best of my ability. And I'm immediately right now I'm gonna try to think about the diagonal cross axis on every single invisible and visible plane. And this is exactly where I feel that pit of discomfort, and this is where I'm grinding my brain, and this is where I'm trying to hold it for as long as I possibly can. Because my brain again keeps wanting to make the tilt like this, but it's like this. It's literally like that. So I have to keep fixing it, and this is really, really, really affecting my brain energy, right? This is genuinely, my eyes are getting warm doing this. My body's tensing up too, which is something I need to focus on relaxing, right? Because my body does tense up when I think to this level of extreme spatial reasoning, right? And I can't see anything. I'm most likely in output regression, but I'm going to try to hold it for another couple seconds longer, right? Just another couple seconds longer. Okay, I couldn't calculate anything there. That was wonderful. So let's rest our brains. I'm going to rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same, right? And then we will try again. Try again. But it is getting easier. It is getting initially easier to visualize the scene through box, I will say. Not easy, because it's never going to be easy until it is, i.e. hundreds of hours of effort, and then boom, compound effect, the brain consolidates the information, everything is chunked, right? It's almost like overnight. That's what happened to me with the whole box and cylinders. Thousands of box and cylinders, thousands and thousands of boxes and cylinders, right? Very, 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 very little discernible progress consistently day by day, because that's how it should be, right? And then randomly, over the course of like 3 weeks, just boom, I just saw it. Right? And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm on to the next thing, right? But that's after like a year of doing that shit, right? Year and a half, almost 2. So same story here. And I've been through these valleys of quote unquote despair before, right? Which is just, it's not even a valley of despair. How I see it is simply a mountain of effort to climb, right? Because the valley of despair is the implication that you don't know what it holds. The despair comes from lack of knowledge, because once you have the knowledge on, and lack of knowledge in terms of direction, but once you, and also like just the fact that like people get overwhelmed, but there's so much shit to do. But once you can like just chunk down like the entire valley of despair into hundreds of mountains of effort, essentially, right? So this is the valley, right? And then these are the little mountains of effort that you keep climbing, right? And then funny enough, you reach the top of this valley and you're like, oh, this peak was just another fucking mountain. Like there's another mountain right there. I just couldn't see it because I haven't gotten here yet, right? So it never ends. That's the beauty, okay? You have to reframe your mindset. That's the beauty of it. Not the fucking, oh no, there's so much to learn. It's, there's so much to learn. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, like that's the way and I just created that little analogy right now. So I'm a god, right? This is you're witnessing the birth of a verbose genius in real time, right? Oh yeah, it's not a valley of despair, it's a mountain of effort. Beautiful. Mwah. But anyways, but yeah, no, truly, like that's the way I think about it. It's just the fact that like it's just a mountain of effort. So once the despair exists because you don't know, and when you do know, there's so much. But then when you reframe it as like, okay, well I know this is one mountain, right? And the first mountain for me was seeing the grid, right? Of boxes and cylinders and perspective in general, just seeing that, right? Getting to this point was like that first mountain, right? Just like seeing, understanding, right? Not that point specifically, but like what got me to that point was seeing and understanding. Now the next point is truly understanding geometric space, i.e. fucking pushing my brain to be able to see 3 layers of perspective at the same time, right? The seen through box and the diagonal cross sections, then the center planes, and then the sphere, and then the ellipses inside of it, and then the sphere inside of that, right? That encompasses that. That's the next mountain. That's gonna take another fucking hundreds of hours, right? But anyways, Jesus Christ, let me rest my brain. Keep talking. Why do I keep talking? All right, wonderful. So let's see, already been 15 minutes and nothing's happened externally, but internally many things have been happening, right? Keep looking at the reference, keep looking at the reference, keep trying to figure out, and again, slow my ghosting down, right? But keep trying to figure out exactly. Okay, there you go. I have a much clearer idea of this box now. Not clear overall, but clearer, right? Clearer. But there's a, let's see, let me just bring this down, actually bring the proportions down, or the box placement down, not the proportions. But already, like, I'm in extreme discomfort. So again, I'm trying to think about this invisible XYZ, and then I'm trying to think about the visible XYZ, right? And that, well, just for a second there, connecting those, oh, see, my hand just diverged. It shouldn't be diverging, right? But obviously, I'm letting you know that it was diverging. That's a mistake. I feel good about that mistake. So now I'm trying to hold this box to the best of my ability, and I'm trying to see, yeah, I'm really trying to hold this box to the best of my ability in my mind, and then I'm trying to see the, okay, like already holding it is very difficult. Holding the entire seam through box is very difficult, but now I'm trying to see the diagonal cross axes on every single invisible and visible plane, and this is what's really going to be taxing my working memory, because I'm trying to hold it, right? I'm trying to hold everything while doing this, and it is incredibly difficult. Like, it is incredibly difficult, but I am trying really, really, really hard. Trying to see this top plane, trying to see the bottom invisible plane, right? Trying to see the side plane, trying to see this front plane, this back plane, right? This side plane's a much wider. Oh, it should have been around there somewhere. And yeah, like, it is actually pretty good. Like, in terms of, like, the fact that I'm able to hold this, I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to hold this, and to some degree, right? But there you go. This is the top front line. This is the back bottom line, right? I.e., like, top front, back bottom, right? And then it turns to this. There you go. See? Like, that's what I'm trying to think about. That's actually pretty good, but that's what I'm trying to think about on this scale, right? And that's actually pretty accurate. That is much more accurate, right? So again, like, I am improving because I'm putting constant effort. It's these micro improvements from being like, oh, initially I would visualize a box that is completely wrong tilt, but now it's getting easier to fix the tilt. You see, it's not like suddenly I'm immediately just making the right tilt, but I'm saying these are the little micro wins. It's like, is it getting easier to fix the slight micro errors that you're making? Is it getting easier to, not easier, sorry, are you exerting more energy and getting slightly more out of that energy, right? I'm getting slightly more of like a 10% visualization, maybe like a 5%, right? Who knows, but it's vague, of course, but I'm getting more for my visualization, and now I'm able to lean into seeing the diagonals slightly better, literally by like a few percentage. And these are the things that right now I'm trying to hold in my mind, right? The diagonal cross axes, right? I'm trying to hold this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this one, this bottom one, this top one. That's the first step for me. Like, that fuckery on this scale, right? That's the first step. So I'm gonna really try to lean into it. Again, I'm gonna really, really try to lean into it. And this is where the pit of discomfort, my stomach feels uncomfortable again, right? And I guess like pit of discomfort's a pretty visceral term, but it does feel pretty uncomfortable. I'll be completely honest, right? So again, I'm trying to visualize the invisible XYZ, the visible. But let's see, that's the X, Y, and then Z, right? Connect them, and there's gonna be a little bit of foreshortening occurring, or not foreshortening, but convergence, like more drastic convergence on this left invisible plane, because it does need to be relatively wider compared to the right one, right? But and now I need to see the diagonals that I said try to see, but right now the tilt is pretty wrong, so it needs to be like this. This is my tilt, right? So that is something I have to keep in mind, right? Let's see, I'm trying to see, and my brain is like making the bottom, like the front plane converge way too drastically like this. That's completely wrong, right? So these are the things, again, your brain will consistently make these mistakes. And notice I keep saying your brain, because drawing is thinking. There's actually an artist, Proco has a premiere coming up for a video, and I love the thumbnail immediately because his name is Ben Livingston, and it basically said, do not draw what you see, draw what you think. And I'm like, oh, I'm not taking, that's beautiful. That's literally beautiful, because that is drawing, right? In just art in general, you are creating what you think, and what you think is simply your understanding. What you're understanding is something that you're constantly improving, right? You're problem solving. It's all fucking problem solving, right? And that's great, because think about it. Imagine if art wasn't problem solving and it was just some random bullshit that you pulled out of your ass. That would be extremely, and again, you can see I'm ghosting the entire box, right? That would be extremely fucking unfortunate, because that genuinely means that there's going to be some people who are just born with the ability to do art and others aren't. But art, like every other skill in the fucking universe, is problem solving, right? Again, whether you're playing a soccer game and you're problem solving, teamwork, coordination, flexibility, endurance, strength, right? So, and many of those which are things you train for, but you're problem solving the use of them as well, right? Or you're doing an artistic craft, or you're doing a mathematical craft, right? Or you're doing a scientific, like whatever the fuck is, right? You're problem solving. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, like the medium in which you problem solve through changes, but the aspect of figuring it out never changes. Like even business, running a business, right? That's a huge problem solving endeavor that takes decades for anybody to be, or not decades, but it takes years, and it takes years to be decently proficient, and decades to master, right? So, and that's why the point of the game is to keep playing. So I'm going to really lean into seeing this entire box. I've been trying to see the entire box, but I'm going to really lean into seeing the correct box, right? The correct box, and always trying to see through the invisible side, right? Whew, okay, my head just hit the camera, Jesus. But like, always trying to see the invisible side, right? My feeling that discomfort. I'm in probably output regression right now, but I'm really trying to see the entire box, right? I'm definitely in output regression because I can't see anything anymore. And I'm going to try to calculate. I'm just going to try to calculate a little bit of that box. In terms of like the cross axes, the diagonal cross axes on every invisible plane, I'm going to try to calculate. Try to hold it. Okay. Oof, okay, I'm going to rest my brain, and then we're going to start drawing the box now. Right? Or maybe we'll do one more. We'll do one more round to try to visualize this seen through box with the diagonal cross axes, because this is like the first step. The goal is to be able to see this entire thing, at least without the ellipses and the sphere, right? But like that, because if I can see this entire fuckery, like the entirety of like the seen through box, the diagonal cross axes, not when, but like if in the sense that like when I'm able to do this, like if and when I'm able to do this, right? Then that will make the cognitive load, that just means my brain will have consolidated into one single chunk unit at any single angle, which is incredible. It's going to take a lot of work, right? But then I'll just be able to put a lot more brain energy towards calculating the ellipses, right? Calculating the ellipses inside the center planes, and then calculating the sphere, and then being able to place the face inside of that is going to also be a lot easier. And then that can be like my actual next step for portraiture. But that's what I'm trying to do. That's literally the whole point of all of this. But let me rest my brain. And I encourage you to do the same. All right, wonderful. Wunderbar. Cool. Wonderful. All right, do I have any other buzzwords? Not even buzzwords, just any words that aren't just me saying the same fucking 10 things over and over. No? Okay, wonderful. Anyways, okay, so back to visualizing this box. Oh, see, I see it a lot clearer just for a split second right now, and then it went away. So I want to make that clear. Like, it went away, and I have to lean into that. It's like when I see it for that split second, like this is why I say like it's extreme discomfort, because I have to constantly remind myself to really lean into visualizing all of this, right? To really lean in to visualizing and like to calculating, into seeing, into visualizing, into calculating, into seeing. And right now I'm trying to hold the entire box in my mind, right? And the angle's still slightly off. My brain is doing something like this. It's slightly more, something like that. If you can't see the difference between these, that means you have an opportunity to improve your what's it called, visual acuity, right? Your ability to analyze and discern these differences, right? These millimeter differences, right? But anyways, I'm back to trying to visualize, and again, this like that slight little millimeter difference is really hard for my brain to change to, but that's something I'm forcing myself right now. Like it's a lot more comfortable doing slightly less, right? But I need to be like, no, tilt it up a bit more, right? And now I'm trying to visualize the back X, Y, and Z, the front X, Y, and Z. I'm not even trying to like ghost it. I'm just gonna try to visualize it, because that's the thing. That way I can like really force myself to understand the 3D volume of this form, right? So I'm trying to visualize this entire box now, And now I'm trying to think about, and the box is down here. I should bring it up here. So let's try that again. Right, I'm trying to visualize the entire box. Right, I'm trying to visualize the entire box. I'm trying to go slowly as well. Go slowly and ghost slowly, but try to visualize the entire box. Making a lot of mistakes. This is not jutting out hard. And see, like, what the fuck? I just made the tilt like this. That's completely wrong. I literally did this. I visualized this, right? I did like, oh, I'm gonna visualize the box, and then this is what I did in my mind. That's what I did with the bottom plane over here instead of this, right? So huge mistake, because like, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what my brain was trying to do. You know, I was trying to create this completely incorrect plane, right? Which is diverging from the top line and the bottom line, right? So your brain will consistently make mistakes, and it's just to the best of our ability. And like, again, we feel good about it. Like, I feel good about the fact that I made this mistake, right? But we really just have to try our best to exert as much energy, i.e. cognitive effort, i.e. working memory, right? Taxing our working memory as possible in order to rectify any mistakes that we make. And I was just thinking right there, right? But in order to rectify any mistakes that we make, and again, my brain is really struggling. Like, I do feel the discomfort now. I definitely feel the discomfort, but my brain is definitely struggling quite a bit to see the correct box right now. And like, it's all over the place, but I'm trying to hold it all together, and now I'm trying to calculate the cross axes, right? The cross axes, but invisible and visible, right? But let's try that again. And I feel that discomfort in my stomach right now. Like, I genuinely feel, okay, yeah, like, it's there. It's definitely there. And this is what I have to lean into. This is the feeling that I've always had to lean into. And it's extremely hard to lean into this, by the way. I want to be very clear. Like, I understand how hard it is to feel that discomfort. And for me, like, I'm fucking talking while I'm doing this, but how hard it is for me to talk, feel the discomfort, visualize, tax my working memory, and then think about the entire box, right? And I keep getting the tilt wrong, but think about the entire box, right? There you go. That's a lot better. But think about the entire box, and then think about the diagonal cross axes in every single invisible, like this back plane, this bottom plane, this side plane, and then visible plane, right? And my brain really wants to make the tilt like this, so I have to be like, no, it's this way. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing that I wants to make that. I'm trying to calculate everything. Okay, taking a step back. I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. And now I'm gonna draw the box after this. Whew, I know I make that whoof noise, and I think that's just like a verbal expression of my mental fatigue, right? Honestly, it feels like involuntary at sometimes. But anyways, please rest your brain. On a side note, I miss streaming. I miss streaming quite a bit. I've realized that. I've been literally goddamn, it's been months of me just pointing to the same drawing that's getting slightly and slightly more filled, be like, I've been drawing like this, I've been drawing like this. But I want to see something new on the page too. Trust me, I understand. I really just need to finish this damn, I'm gonna enjoy doing it, but I just need to finish this city over here, right? This cityscape. And that's it. And then finally I can move on to the next. I guess this is just who I am. Like, I get tired of drawing the same. I get tired of, like, I have so many unfinished drawings, bro. But these, like, I'm committed to finishing because this is on stream, this is on video, all that shit, right? But like, it is, I'm definitely one of those artists who does not finish shit. Like, so many of my sketchbooks, not even so many, my one sketchbook that I use kind of primarily, but there's some other ones too. There's so many unfinished drawings. There's so many unfinished drawings. But anyways, let's start by, again, visualizing everything we need to visualize, right? But let's get the tilt down first. Let's move this box over here, right? Let's get this tilt down. Yeah, there you go. I'm getting a lot better at looking at the portrait reference as well and putting the bottom of the plane, or bottom of the box accurately as well, which is something that I'm very proud of, I'll be completely honest, because like, for the longest time I was putting the bottom of this plane, like this bottom right here. I'm only drawing over the line again because this pen is fucking me up, as in it's just not, the line is just not coming through properly. But this right here, this bottom, I was putting where the eye was, which is wrong, right? Like the eyebrow line, because this is the eyebrow line, this is the center, right? But anyways, I'm already starting to visualize the entire box, right? and it's getting pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm actually getting pretty decent at doing so. This is basically like a pretty much a front view. We just have a little bit of the side view, right? And again, like while I'm doing this, I'm already visualizing the other aspects of this box as well, right? Like the inside of the box. And while I do this, I'm gonna try my absolute best to visualize the diagonals, which also I'm genuinely just doing my best to see them, right? Like it gets a lot easier, because think about it, now I've taken away so much cognitive energy, cognitive load, cognitive, anything you want to fucking call it, right? But I've just taken away a lot of energy from my mind towards visualizing these things, right? So now it's actually a lot easier to visualize or to calculate, because I can witchwawi, right, see what needs to be seen, if that makes sense. Like I can literally, and this is because I'm thinking right now, so obviously I cannot give you the best fucking Jesus Christ, bro, these goddamn lines. So shite. Okay, well, I guess I'm making it converge upwards. Sure. Now I don't think this is that good of a box, but because like this is still not wide enough. Could have made it a lot better. Honestly, this should have been a little bit wider. And the angle is still not tilted enough. Like I ended up still not tilting it as much. It should have been something like this, and that's not tilted enough. But that's okay. I made the mistake. You know, you make your bed, then you lay in it, right? But anyways, now it's all about, now I can literally see through the form a lot clearer. Like a lot clearer. I can see through the form, and then I can see now I'm gonna really focus all my energy on seeing through the form and seeing the diagonal cross axes, right? Seeing this back plane one, this side plane one right here. So the one projected outward from here. And you can see this box is not perfect. It's really fucking dumb if you look at it, because I didn't draw the lines properly, right? And this is also like converging a bit too fast, so I should have fixed that a little bit more, right? But either way, now I'm gonna force myself to be in extreme discomfort and think about the diagonal, because I think what I need to do is, like, the second one thing is drawn, I need to think about the next two layers, right? So when it wasn't drawn, I was trying to think about the box, the seen-through box, as well as the diagonals. But now that I'm here, now I have to think about the diagonals, and then I need to think about the center planes attaching to the diagonal, right? Like, I think that's the only way to really tax my mind. I can never be comfortable with only thinking about 12 plus calculations. I always need to be thinking about at least 20 to 25 plus calculations, right? Like, it's the only way. Like, I have to brute force my brain into thinking about all these things. So, and that is where, like, immediately just trying to conceptualize that is already giving me a lot of discomfort. So that is exactly where I need to be, because I always want to be in extreme discomfort, right? Always want to be in extreme discomfort. Like, am I in extreme discomfort? That's the question I always try to ask myself. The answer is no, right? So let me try to visualize every single cross axis, visible and invisible, and then we're gonna try to see the center planes, right? So this center plane, something like this. And when I say something like this, I mean, I'm still calculating it, but it's just like right here, this bottom center plane, I see this diagonal, and then I'm putting it, again, invisible side, right? First, always invisible side first, bringing it up here, bring it over here. And like everywhere I look, I basically just trying to force myself to see at least 2 to 3 diagonal cross axes, as well as the center plane, which is coinciding with it, right? So here, when I'm looking back here, I'm trying to visualize this line, and then I'm immediately thinking that's because the line is here because this is the diagonal, and it's being held right around here, like the end of these 3 planes is right around there, right? And yeah, definitely ghosting a lot slower. This box is not correct. Like, this is not a good box. I definitely made the side plane a bit too if anything, I should make this slightly larger, just slightly, right? Yeah, it doesn't even need to be that much larger, but this is what is much more accurate. And it's okay to fix. I think it's genuinely completely fine to fix your see, and my hands are way too tense. My fingers are way too tense. I think it's completely fine to fix your drawings, because now it's giving me a lot more leeway, or just more accuracy, right? It's just giving me more accuracy. And I should have probably, let's see, there you go. See, like, it's hard for me to see the other side of the plane. Like, I really struggle with making the width of this plane accurate, like this back plane, but now I see it a lot clearer, right? And now I need to, while I hold that, because again, it is updating my mental model, updating the calculation in my mind, right? While I see this and really understand the depth, the depth of the seen through form, I need to hold it. I'm thinking about every single diagonal, right? I'm trying to think about this diagonal especially, right? So I can get it down properly. And then this back plane diagonal. And again, that discomfort in my stomach is really there. I need to lean into seeing this as much as possible. Same with this one, right? Same with this front one, this bottom one, every single one of them, right? Really lean into seeing them as much as I can. And same with this top one, right? And then I need to just push even further. No, this is to go even further beyond. Anyways, fucking. I'm just not gonna, like, just stop. Stop, Biggie. Bagul, don't do it, please. But let me just try to see through this form again, try to see the diagonals, really tax my working memory. Oh, see, this line's going that way, that's wrong. So feel good about that, and then fix it, right, to the best of my ability, making shit ton of mistakes, just forcing myself to feel good while I'm making these mistakes. Can't see this plane, can't see this plane. Now I can't see the diagonals anymore, right? Keep forcing myself to try to calculate, and now try to get the center lines in there. Try to get the center lines in there, this vertical center line, right? And then this vertical center line as well, right? And again, try to really get it down to the diagonals, right? Get it right between the cross section of the diagonals. Same with here and here. Yeah, and my body's stiffening up when I do this, right? Because that pit of discomfort travels to my lower back as well. Really trying to see it on, and the horizontal one too, right? Somewhere around here, because I believe it's like this and like this, right? So somewhere right around there. Same thing here. Try to see that diagonal here and here, right? Travels back, comes back out this way, and then comes back out this way. So the diagonals here and here, and it's, yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, that was very difficult. Let me rest my brain. But yeah, this is clearly, like, now I have this wonderful, because I think this approach is just a natural evolution. It's like, and the evolution is just try harder, bro. Just try harder, right? When you don't have a box drawn, visualize the box, the seen through form, and the like, visualize the box with the seen through form, seen through sides, right? The seen through box, and then visualize the diagonal cross axes. And then once you've drawn the box, congratulations, you just removed a huge cognitive load. Now you have an opportunity and a responsibility, personally, to not only, now you have to see through the box, but now you also really have to see the diagonal cross axes and the center lines that intersect through them, right? This is one way that I can really, not speed run, but just, yeah, basically kind of force myself to see more than what I believe I'm capable of. It's all a belief, right? Objectively, I'm not capable of things that I'm trying, but the belief is the fact that I can't stay in there and push there for longer and try even harder, right? Which we all can, we 100% can. But yeah, anyways, let me rest my brain. I am here to do the sign. Damn, when I rest my brain, I literally just sometimes have my own background music playing in my head. Like, it's the Chainsaw Man music, right? The Chainsaw Man trailer music, which I'm so glad it was unreleased. It's the only way I'm getting away with copyright bullshit. But yeah, stay hydrated, homies. But also don't know why my voice is so nasally. I think the more excited I get, the more I start talking like this, and I'm like, oh yeah, guys, trust me, I'm a really good artist. And nobody listens to a man with a nasally voice. I'm sorry, Alpha M. He used to give good advice. I think the whole self-improvement space in general on YouTube, like, you can only say the same thing so many times. Go for a morning walk, get the sunlight, fucking exercise, get jacked, right? And like, eat clean, fucking avoid excess sugar, carbs, get 8 hours of sleep, right? Make sure to like try to meditate, try to fit that into your life, right? Not that I don't even fucking, I used to meditate a lot, and now it's been so sporadic that I'm gonna be completely objective and be like, okay, I don't really meditate that much, but I still got a good lot of breathing techniques and just like overall health benefits from it. I would love to go back. I'm just a lazy piece of shit. See, I can only do so much as well. You know, there's only like 4 hours of deep work, which is apparently the max we can do in a day, so I can only do that. Like, today it's gonna be 2 hours of drawing, because yesterday I said I was gonna draw for 2 hours, and then I decided to sleep early instead, or earlier, and then I'll wake up early, and then I end up just sleeping through my alarm, so made no fucking difference. But so here I am doing my 2 hours today, because I do gotta get everything scheduled for today, tomorrow. Well, I have today scheduled, but I'll get tomorrow and the day after scheduled because I'm gonna be seeing my beautiful girlfriend. I couldn't wait. I'm a complete fucking simp. I usually go tomorrow, but I was like, I want to go today. I want to go today. And now here I am, right? But it's okay. It's good work. Good work all around. But anyways, I'm gonna try to visualize again. Like I'm floundering, right? I can tell like I'm not trying as hard because I'm only visualizing the scene through form. So I have to visualize all the diagonal cross axes, right? All the diagonal cross axes, and then I have to visualize and calculate. It's all calculate. When I say visualize, I mean calculate. That's basically, it's the same thing, right? You're calculating, you're visualizing, you're creating something out of nothing. You're taxing your brain trying to understand all of this, right? Trying to hold all of this, and now we bring the center planes in to the equation. This center plane, right? This center plane right here, that's based off of this diagonal, right? This one, this plane, and like I have to hold it properly too, right? Because if I bring this up here, that suddenly is diverging. It's the wrong center plane. So beautiful, beautiful opportunity to, again, I feel good because I made that mistake, right? It's to constantly course correct. And then this center plane right around there, it stops right around there. And then this one comes up here because that's this diagonal, right? So it comes up here and then bring that through. But the thing is, like, it's not just one center plane I have to see. I have to see all the center planes, right? So while I'm trying to hold this now, I'm going to try my best to see the other center planes as well, like this vertical one, right? This vertical one, and that means I still have to hold the entire scene through form and the diagonals, right? And it comes up here, and then this diagonal I couldn't really calculate at all, so that was a mistake. And then it goes through there, and then it comes back down here, right, through this diagonal. And that's me trying to hold just two center planes. I already lost this one while I was calculating this other one, right? While I was calculating the one projected outward from this front-facing plane, I lost this one on the side plane. That was projected outwards to the center, but that's the beauty of it, is like you keep losing it and you keep forcing your brain to be like, no, no, bring it back, right? And now we have to try to hold all those two together, right? And I'm trying my fucking hardest because holding those two together really forces me to think and see through the form and to really see the diagonal cross axes on all. See, like my body's tensing up, bro. My fucking back is like tensing up because I get so uncomfortable when I'm focusing to this degree, right? Like it's just focus. And focus is hard, but focus is a skill, right? And it's also extremely hard to focus when you're fucking narrating what you're focusing on, right? But I'm trying to hold all of this together in my mind, and I'm trying to get, okay, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so fucking uncomfortable right now. My stomach is like genuinely just a pit of discomfort, right? But I'm trying to hold the scene through box. I'm trying to think about everything at once right now. That's what's making the discomfort even more palpable, is the fact that I'm trying to see through the box. I'm trying to see all the diagonal cross axes. I'm trying to see these center planes. Just for a second, just keep holding it, Viggy. Just try to see the entire thing. We are creating a 3D simulation of geometric space in our mind. So like I'm losing everything right now. It's all hazy, but the idea, the concept, and the calculations is what I'm leaning into, is just constantly trying to see everything all at once, right? Everything everywhere all at once, ha ha ha, movie reference. But anyways, just really trying to see the diagonals, the center planes through the scene through form. And my brain is like, again, this bottom line right here for this center plane, it's going up that way, and I have to be like, that's like an amazing feeling because I made a huge mistake, and my brain is now spotlighted on that thanks to acetylcholine and dopamine being attached to the effort, the error, right? I'm rewarding the error with dopamine, with good feelings. But like right now, I'm just forcing myself to feel good over and over and over, and I'm basically in output regression right now, but my brain is making a lot of mistakes, and I'm fucking really loving it. Like it keeps making this bottom plane diverging outward, right? Like this invisible one, it's making it diverge outward, right? And I'm just force myself to feel good because like, okay, you need to correct that. Now I can't see the diagonals anymore, so I need to really be like, okay, you got to keep seeing the diagonals. And now I'm trying to lean in again, feel that discomfort in my stomach, right? There you go. I'm trying to see the center planes. I'm trying to really see this center plane projected outward here, and oof, my stomach is so uncomfortable. I'm so fucking uncomfortable right now, and dude, this is like taxing my brain. My eyes are getting warm. I need to try to think about all of them all at once. Everything's collapsing in my mind. I'm definitely in output regression, and on the page, it's all collapsing. I gotta stay in here for just a little bit longer. My body's tensing up. This is incredibly difficult. Okay. Holy shit. Okay, that was wonderful. Okay, rest your brain, everybody. Rest your brain. Because I'm definitely gonna rest my brain. That was fucking incredible. But that's the type of feeling is what I want to lean into as often as possible. That's literally my goal, is to feel that as much as I can. Right? But yeah. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this box is not even that accurate, but it's definitely more accurate than it would have been if I didn't fix it. Like this depth is definitely way more accurate for sure. Oh yeah, like it's definitely way more accurate, and this front is fine, and it's probably pretty decent then actually. It's probably pretty decent because this is converging, this is also converging. It's following this. Like there's a vanishing point over there. I shouldn't have made this front plane converge upwards to a vanishing point there. That just doesn't make any sense. But I just committed because I was like, whatever, right? But yeah, visualizing all of that on this scale, definitely very difficult. Definitely very difficult. But anyways, we gotta lean into that one more time. I gotta fucking calculate to that level of degree one more time. And obviously I'm trying to relax my body while I calculate, but just this level of sheer focus and intensity seems to just create tension in my body, right? So I'm trying to visualize, I'm trying to see through the form, and I'm trying to see, like, I'm actually getting pretty decent at seeing through the form, right? Again, what we're doing is calculating geometric volume, right? So this is literally what I'm trying to see. You know, we're starting with this, right? And I'm purposefully not drawing like it, you know, as per just, you know, what we can see than what we can't see, right? Like I'm trying to, again, we're trying to understand the actual volume, right? The volume, like the form, like how it exists in space, right? Like to know for a fact that after this point, like the plane ends, you know, and that the space ends, the form ends. That is something that you work on to constantly visualize. But obviously I drew like a much longer box than this, that's wrong. But the point is I'm trying to visualize this, like that, see through the form, and then visualize every single invisible cross axis, right, diagonal cross axis, and then every single visible cross axis, right? And then create the center planes that cut through them, right? Horizontal and the two verticals that cut through them. There you go, like that. That is literally the goal. That's the first goal. And after that, only after that, can I try to be like, oh, there's an ellipse in there, and ellipse in there, and oh, racketsumba, ellipse in there, right? Like only that, and then it's like, oh, okay, well that just means this is our sphere, right? And that's where the sphere sits inside the box. And then you got the fucking Loomis head, because like right around here is the nose, and then this ends up being the jaw, right? It's actually like it's more inverted, Jesus Christ. Like something like that. But you know, if this pen wasn't shit, it'd be easier to show. But I love you, Pentel. Once again, please sponsor me. Okay, so what are we in? 48 minutes. All right, wonderful. Let's lean into that extreme discomfort one more time, and then we will try to do it again, but this time with the ellipse calculations inside the center planes, and then do it again, but with the fucking trying to draw the form of this person's face, this woman's face, on top of that. So it's very difficult. Yesterday, by the way, I didn't even understand. Like, I conceptually did, but I didn't even understand that the reason we see only the side of her face and not the other side is because her face is also like that ellipse, this horizontal ellipse that's basically a flat line. It makes sense because the other side is basically a flat line too, right? So, like, that's why we don't see the other side, because that's why her face stops right around here. It made sense to me after I looked at it. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But in the moment, I wasn't thinking of it like that because I could barely think because I was at the end of my practice, my intense spatial reasoning practice, and output regression, i.e. when you are using all your cognitive energy, but your resources have run out, and your neuroplasticity is at its highest, and that's when you attach dopamine to errors, but you can't see anything. Like that's when you're performing at your worst, but you're learning at your best, right? I guess that's a pretty good way to put it. Output regression is when you're performing at your worst, but you're trying to perform at your best, and therefore you're learning at your best, because your brain is like, dude, all these fucking neurons are firing off. Like, your brain's extremely plastic. It's in basically hyper problem-solving mode, right? It's like, imagine if we were to say that exercise ended up working how you got a pump, right? Sorry, let me say that again. If exercise and the pump worked like how your brain learns, like if how you exercise and like what happens to your body was the same way your brain learns, because it's the opposite. It's actually the opposite, right? Your body gets bigger for a short duration of time because the blood is going to your is pumping through your blood vessels and all that shit, and you're seeing a little preview of the future of the physique that you'll have, the build that you'll have, and all that shit, right? But the brain works in the complete opposite. But let's just say the body worked the same way the brain did when it came to just effort and then what came out of it. That would mean that, like, for this analogy, that every time you exercise, you actually got smaller and you got 10 times weaker. But then the next day or 2 or 3 or a week later, you were just fucking much stronger. That's what it's like to learn, where in the moment you're actually doing much worse because you're trying to understand. Your brain is fucking struggling, and it's like, with these resources we don't want to allocate them, but we have to, and we really don't want to learn this. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Yes, you do. So it's trying really hard. It's actively resisting the effort, just like it is now for me. But then over the weeks and weeks and weeks of trying to do this, it just gets better. But during the moment, your brain shrinks. Like, that's the analogy, right? Like, it gets smaller. But then, through rest and consistency, it grows quite exponentially. But anyways, my brain can barely see like the seen through form right now. So this is how I know, like, I'm definitely like at the tail end of my cognitive energy. And this is why I say I'm average. Like, fucking only 60 to 90 minutes of deep work possible a day. I can barely do fucking 50, clearly, right? So I'm trying to see the seen through form, like, and I'm already extremely uncomfortable just trying to see the seen through form. But now I'm trying to think about the diagonal cross axes on every invisible and visible plane. Really trying to think about that. Really trying to think about it, right? Just genuinely trying to think about it to the best of my ability. And already my back is just tensing up. I don't know why it does that, but when I'm in these extreme, like, my body just tenses up when I'm extremely trying to like calculate these, and the pit of discomfort in my stomach is back, right? It's a physical manifestation, I guess, of the effort that my brain is really putting itself through. And oh my god, this is so uncomfortable, right? And I'm trying to think about, I just have to lean into this, but this is so fucking uncomfortable, and I'm barely even doing anything right now, like in terms of visualization. But I'm trying to think about every single diagonal, right, cross axes, and then I'm trying to think about the center planes that go through them, right? The center planes that go through them, and I need to like make sure that I actually understand where the edge of this is. Right, there you go. That's a lot better, right? But make sure that it goes through them, right? This center plane, and coming up here. Let me try to hold that to the best of my ability, right? And while I'm trying to hold that, I gotta do this side as well. My body's really tensing up, goddamn. Oh, this is so uncomfortable, holy shit. Okay, but I have to, again, lean into this, right? Try to hold everything together, trying to get this center plane, this vertical one, like that's projected outward from this front-facing plane. Holy shit, I'm in so much discomfort. And you see my hand diverged. Bro, holy fuck, oh my god. This is so incredibly uncomfortable, I can't even explain. I want to get out of my body, that's how uncomfortable it feels, right? And I'm trying to visualize this, calculate it, make sure it's going along the diagonals, and then the horizontal one, same thing, right? Horizontal one, I don't want to say horizontal one, right? And there you go, on the invisible side. Okay, now try to hold that. I'm going to try to hold those three planes to the best of my ability in my mind while visualizing the entirety of the seen through box, right? Entirety of the seen through box, right? And again, my hand is diverging. Entirety of the seen through box, right? Let's see. And now I'm gonna again like try to see the entirety of the seen through box. My brain just made a beautiful mistake where I made the back end, the pianist, the back end go this way, right? So, oh, by the way, like hopefully I remember. Let me just fucking finish. Let me play my recent piano piece that I learned, Invention Number 1 by Bach, so I can just move on, because I do want to show my audience, right? Like, hey, look, this is the latest thing I learned, because now I'm learning Nocturne in C#. I got a new teacher because my old teacher went to medical school. Congratulations for him. Everybody say happy. Congratulations to Mr. J. He got into Yale Medical. Fucking amazing, right? Yale Medical School. Mr. J, thank you, Mr. JT, right? Mr. J, and then T is his last name. Obviously I'm not gonna say his name, but but either way, yeah, okay. But I got a new piano teacher, and she's pretty different, but she's also extremely experienced, like way more experienced than JT, because he's the one who recommended her, right? But she's like, I think in her 50s to 60s, and there's a lot of things I have to like I knew my form was shit. There's a lot of things I have to revamp, and I'm gonna be working on, so I'm excited, right? Because she's like, Nocturne in C#, it's very advanced. I'm like, yeah, well, I just did what my fucking teacher told me to do, bro. Ah, shit, did not need to make that line, and now that's actually in the wrong place too, so that's great, because that, at first I was like, oh, it's gonna anchor the thing for me, but it's not, because it's in the wrong place. So now, and I've been like completely distracted, by the way. My brain's been very tired. So I'm gonna lean into this. Let's lean into it one more time, right? Let's just see through the box, see all the diagonals, and see the center planes, right? To the best of our ability. And again, this center plane went all the way out here, right? Like the one that's projected out here. This line went all the way out here, but that's wrong. So I gotta, again, feel good about that, right? Put a spotlight on that. You're welcome, acetylcholine. Thank you, dopamine. But, and then just see it to the best of my ability. So much tension in my body. in my mind. Extreme friction, but I'm just losing like that center plane constantly. Oh, dude, the pit of discomfort in my stomach is. We're so back, baby. We're so back. I'm so fucking. Oh god, this is so hard. And then let's get the horizontal one in there too. Let's try to hold it. Let's just try to hold it. It's so vague right now. I can barely see anything, but I'm making so many mistakes, and I'm trying to calculate it all. Right? Okay. Holy shit. Holy shit. That was definitely output regression for sure. Okay, now we're just gonna try to see the damn ellipses at least once or twice, and then I will draw the face over it. Let me. Oh fuck me! I hit the camera with my head. God damn it! Let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Yeah, so if all goes well, I should definitely be able to stream this Saturday and Sunday for at least an hour or two with no hiccups, right? I'll be very excited for that. Ah. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, final stretch. Yeah, final stretch. Holy shit. Yeah, so again, this discomfort is very difficult to lean into. I completely understand. But this is literally how you learn, right? The more discomfort you're in, and then the rest you take, and then the more discomfort you put yourself in, it's like you're gonna be hypercharging your learning. But anyways, let's try to visualize everything all at once. I immediately just it's hilarious. I just force myself to see through the box and then just see all the diagonal cross axes. Not clearly, but just conceptualizing the idea of them, right? And now I'm trying to hold that, and I'm trying to see the center planes, right? I'm trying to hold that, and I'm trying to see the center planes, right? In my mind, on the page, trying to calculate them. Yeah, I've literally forced myself to visualize on the page. Before, a lot of it was in my mind, but through sheer effort, I've been able to force myself to visualize on the page. So it's a skill you can build if you don't have aphantasia, i.e. if you're not the 1%, right? I highly doubt any of you watching, or anybody in the future, again, like there will obviously be a 1% who likely has it. I think 1 to 3%, right? But I'll say this, even if you have aphantasia, you can still calculate. You can still calculate. You can still spatially reason. Spatial reasoning is not lost on those who have aphantasia. Okay, visualization is obviously something they're incapable of, right? Biologically speaking, but spatial reasoning is something that's accessible to every single human being on the planet, right? Granted, you're fortunate enough to be born with a brain that's relatively functioning. You don't even have to be full functioning like me, right? What I mean like me is like I'm not full functioning. I'm fucking retarded, and I managed to do something semi-decent, right? But anyways, back to visualizing the entire. See, like the second I tell myself back to visualizing this entire box, the seen through form, and then all the diagonal calculations, the second I bring the diagonal calculations in with the seen through form, already my stomach starts churning and my eyes get like are feeling tense, and I feel that pressure on my forehead, right? And now it comes down to holding that. I'm trying to hold that as much as possible, and then I'm trying to think about this 3 center planes, and I have to put them in all at once, which is the very difficult part, because I'm trying to build the schema, the mental representation of this center plane, right? Oh fuck, that's already wrong. So this center plane, this one, and then the horizontal one. This is all wrong too, but whatever. The point I'm trying to make is like trying to hold them all together, and then and then I have to calculate the ellipses inside of them and be like, ooh, and then the sphere is wrapped around that as a 3-dimensional form, right? Incredibly difficult. And that is why it's worthwhile. Because think about it, nobody will do this. Literally nobody will do this. How many of you will actually go to this extent, right? How many of you are telling yourself right now, like, I don't want to go to this extent because of X, Y, Z reason? That's fine. Just be honest with yourself what that entails, right? Like I am min-maxing spatial reasoning, volumetric fucking big dicketric understanding, right? I just really want to make a dick joke, but none of it makes sense. But anyways, I'm trying to min-max that. So it makes sense that this is the effort I put in, and I know what I'm going to get out of it, right? But there are people with much less understanding of form in this context than I have, who are able to draw much better than me because, of course, it's transferable and they spend a lot of time applying that form, right? For me, it's like I'm brute forcing all the hard work now. So like at least all the spatial reasoning hard work now, such that in the next 5, 10, 15, whatever years, 20 years, 30 years, when I just start amassing a more prominent, more explicit visual library, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like this, bro. It's literally gonna just be like this. I'll be like, oh, complex form, I can break it down into simple forms and then make them more complex. Okay, I now know how to draw a deer. I now know how to draw a gun. I now know how to draw a crane. I know how to draw a cityscape. I know how to draw where the fuck I want because my understanding of form is so good, right? It's simple. It makes sense to me. It's literally like math, right? It's just a very clear-cut way to go about it, right? But this path requires extreme patience and extreme resilience to the middle, right? To this the arduous middle of growth, right? The arduous middle of learning and practicing difficult things. Anyways, while I've been talking, I haven't been thinking as much as I should be, so I'm trying to bring that back, right? And trying to think as well as I can. So again, I haven't been able to see this backplane correctly because I made the correction. My brain keeps trying to think that this is the end point, but this is the end point, right? That, so I have to constantly think about that, right? Let me actually, yeah, whatever, pen died again. But I'm just really trying to think about the entire scene through form, right? The entire scene through form, the diagonal cross axes. My brain is really like struggling right now. It's really struggling to see this line properly. It keeps diverging it, but this back line should be here, right? Coming up there. There you go. Something like that. But my brain is really struggling to hold that together. And then I need to have the diagonal. Okay, yeah, discomfort's back. The diagonal cross axes. I need to see the 3 center planes, right? And they need to extend out appropriately. Like they need to extend out appropriately through the diagonals, right? Extend out appropriately through the diagonals, which I can't really see that well at all, right? And I need to hold them all at once. And now I just need to try. This is so hard because I can barely hold them all at once. But I need to try and see. And this is obviously all contingent on just me being able to see through the box and being able to see the diagonals consistently and then to calculate within that, right? But I need to be able to see through the box, and this is my one ellipse, right? It's probably not even that accurate, but this I believe is one of my ellipses, right? And then this one, try to hold that, and then this is my other one, something like this, right? Something like this. This one right here, fucking Jesus. This center one. I'm really fucking grinding my brain to think about all of this right now. And then we have the horizontal one, which is more simple. Should be more simple. I'm trying to think. See, I made it incorrect. I keep making it incorrect. Okay. Oof, okay, it's been an hour and 3 minutes. All right. I'm gonna rest my brain, and then I'm gonna try to hold all this all at once, and then we're gonna start drawing the face, which is the fucking first. Technically, not even like that's like this is all the precursor. This is all the precursor to just drawing the face. The funny thing is, the goal is to be able to see this again in my mind, like this entire thing, and then the face will rest on top of it. That is the extent to which I'm pushing the difficulty of this task ahead of me. Right? But it's transferable. The better I understand space, complexity of space, geometric volume, the better I'll be able to just consistently keep drawing things from my mind, right? And break down things in the world around me, right? And I have technically been practicing faces for hundreds of hours, or like over 100 hours now, so it will be transferable in that sense too. But anyways, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Let's try using the other pen. I should honestly use the dead pen to Ghost, because this pen I'm pretty sure, because I just switched it out right now. Pretty sure this pen is dead, right? But anyways, my brain just like made a huge mistake with seeing this ellipse, this center plane ellipse. And I'm trying to like hold it all in my mind at the same time. And this plane as well. Right, see through this plane. Get the ellipse down. So the ellipse ends right around here, I think. Let's see, something like that, right? should use my fingers more to draw from this angle. But yeah, of course, like my large ellipses need work, right? Like this, I can do fine. But the second it gets any larger, like this, oh, I guess that's pretty decent too. Okay, I thought I was struggling, but I guess I'm struggling it when I try to obviously visualize the plane, right? Like, I don't even think I drew the right plane here. But either way, let's just get it down. Yeah, because like it's not the right plane. It should be something more like this, I think. Right? Yeah, I think that's a bit more accurate. Again, like I'm still figuring it out, right? There's like so much I don't know. It's beautiful, right? But either way, this is my eyebrow. This is my center line. This is my eye line brow, right? Eyebrow line, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? This is my center line. This is where, and again, I'm really like my brain's really fucking hurting to try to figure this out right now. Cause like I can barely see this center plane. And I have to think about the ellipse inside of it. I can barely see it, but I have to think about the ellipse inside of it. It's very difficult. Okay, whatever. Let's start with, and this is my center, right? So like I have to bring it down because I saw the ellipse at the wrong point. This is my center, much more like it. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, and this is the edge. So this is my eyebrow, and this is my center, right? So I gotta make sure I don't fuck that up either. And while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to calculate as much as I can. Like genuinely, I am trying to calculate, don't get me wrong, but now it's the more difficult part where I have to look at the portrait reference while trying to calculate all of this. And I think the fucking face in and of itself is just difficult to like think about while I'm doing all this, right? It's just been very difficult because I do have to understand that I have to like calm my fucking hand down a little bit, right? But I have to understand the geometric volume of the face in and of itself, right? Like this is a 3D form. It's a simplified 3D form, and then which has more complexities attached to it, right? But it's like I'm trying to think about that while I'm fucking drawing. Like I'm trying to think about the entire space and everything around it, you know, and like how this sphere actually goes. Because I can barely see the sphere right now, let alone the center planes, let alone the diagonals. Like I'm just trying to think about the box and see through the box. So that's another thing, is like I have to consistently see through and zoom out. And I've gotten a lot better at zooming out. I will say I'm very proud of myself. Like I literally don't really zoom in anymore. Much to the extent of just like, yeah, like I look at the space, but even when I'm looking at the space, I can see through the form behind it, right? Like that is the skill I've actually built now, which is pretty crazy. It's not very clear, but the fact is, I mean, the fact that I'm even able to zoom out to the extent to see through the form, to think about it like that, I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself that I've built that ability over hundreds of hours, right? So again, like, but the thing is, like, I do end up zooming in because now I'm thinking about this feature right here, and I'm trying to get it down relatively accurately to the reference, and that does require thinking, and that does require focused attention, right? And let's see, what are her lips like? It's like this, like that, right? Maybe I made that a bit too prominent. Her mouth is like slightly open. I made it a bit too open. And then we got the bottom lip, which is something like this, right? Didn't get it that great, but whatever. That's her bottom lip, right? And again, like while I was doing that, I could not think about anything. I'll be completely honest, right? I couldn't really think about much at all in terms of the center plane or anything like that, right? So this is the bottom of the box, there, or the bottom of the sphere. Okay, that's the edge. This is the bottom. Goes around here, right? So it's something like this. It's like this, I guess. Let's see. It's like this is my sphere. Something like, and I can barely see that sphere, completely honest, but I think this is what it's like, right? And then I have to get the eyes. It's very difficult, incredibly difficult, and I always will keep stating how difficult it is, of course, because I think that's important for people to understand that none of this is being done without any thinking. Like I'm constantly trying to, and even while I'm drawing these features, I have to keep looking back at the reference while also thinking about the space that it resides in, and try to get the accuracy of the try to get the accuracy of the features while also consistently trying to zoom out. And I'm failing miserably at that right now, right? Like trying to zoom out and think about the space. It's only when I'm done drawing, when I'm not drawing right now, and I'm just like taking a step back. But now the second that I'm drawing again, like it's really hard, and I'm making an active effort now. I'm making an active effort to think, right? Making an active effort to think about the form, like just the box, like just seeing through the box, right? I can barely see the sphere, let alone the center lines, right? But I'm really trying to at least get a vague idea of where that sphere is as well, right? Now let's get the chin. I gotta get the chin relatively, it's like right around here. Okay. And I like these. I like that they use a bit more chubbier people for these, because it forces me to think about the form a bit better too, right? And let's see, where's the ear? Because I know the ear is like, okay, so this is where I have to think about the sphere again, right? So this is my center here, this is my center here. And again, like it's all breaking down, right? But this is my center here, there. So this is my sphere. And then my ear is like right around here somewhere. Yeah, and that does seem pretty accurate to the reference itself. Right, that does seem pretty accurate actually, damn, to the reference. But then we got the jaw. This is like the Loomis jaw, which I'm not even gonna try to visualize. Well, I didn't mean to make her that chubby, but whatever. She is kind of that chubby, so it's fine. Right, we got a Chuba Booba here, but there you go. Right. Let's just give the little chin line right there. Maybe the little nose, like the, what is that, the philtrum, right? The philtrum. I kind of fucked that up, but here you go. Just stop, bro, just stop. I gave her a fucking Hitler stash, good job. Well, this is how you know my lines need work. I literally gave her a Hitler stash, holy shit. Bruh, she looks fine. Why'd I give her a Hitler stash? And then there you go. Fuck, I don't know how to fix that now. This is... Hold up. No, just stop. You're ruining it. Okay, just leave it. Just leave it. This looks like a man now. This looks like a fucking chubby man with a Hitler stash. Why? It was so good. Well, this is how, you know, like, again, I don't have the skill, right? I just made mistakes. This is just fucking hell, it looks so fine. And now she looks like the Third Reich's reckoning. Maybe I can fix it if I add the shadow here. Oh, there you go. It's like, oh, it was just a shadow all along. Right, maybe we can add this shadow as well. This one right here. There you go. There you go. We fix it by just adding more shadows. Right, ta-da. Let's see, we'll add this one too. This way it'd be like, oh yeah, see that actually, holy shit, I actually did fix it. Who knew shadows could be so powerful? I did, but I don't have the skill to utilize them yet. But I will utilize them in this moment, purely so she doesn't look like a man with a Hitler stash, or like like a woman with a Hitler stash. There you go. Cool. I don't know why I went so off for this face, but at least I know I can draw faces now. Wonderful. But yeah, that was very difficult. So again, I want to be very clear. Like while I draw the face, I think the ear is actually way too small. Should be a lot larger. There you go. That's a lot better. But while I draw the face, like I really don't see much. Like I genuinely don't see much, and that's the point. It's like this is because this is the limiting factor, right? This is the limiting factor in my understanding. But either way, let's draw through the form now. Let's draw what I've been trying to visualize and grinding my brain over. Because remember, the face does not matter. I want to be very clear. Like the face is literally just the tiny step. You know, the face is just like the fucking last thing. Or it's like, oh yeah, fucking whatever, there's a face. But the schema, the mental model, the visualization, that is, like, of the geometry, that is actually what matters the most. That is objectively what matters the most. And that is what I try to build in my mind every single day. Or at least 5 days a week. Wee. Right? And again, I always fuck up these lines too, but yeah, like, that's why I'm trying to see through the form, trying to see the invisible diagonal lines. Like, the first step is to really see this with extreme clarity. Like, genuinely, that is, like, what I struggle with the most right now, right? But that is the first step to see, because once I see these, every single one of these, with extreme clarity, right? Once that model, because right now these are all individual components in my mind, right? But once I see every single one of these with a lot of clarity, that is when it'll be much easier, and I mean like literally exponentially easier, to see the center planes, right? And then it's sequential, right? And then once I see the center planes based on these diagonal cross axes, right, much very, very, very clearly, then I can see the ellipses inside the center planes very clearly, right? Which is why I just keep saying it's gonna take hundreds of hours, because this is not an easy schema to build. Right, fuck, I fucked that line up. Fuck this line up. Look at that fucking, what is that wonky curve? But yeah, like, that's just the first step, right? And then we try to visualize the seen through side, the invisible side, like so. And I'm still giving myself a headache here because I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck I'm trying to do. And I got this cross axis wrong, yeah, because I started wrong here. Got that wrong. What the fuck is this line? Hold up. Jesus Christ, I don't even know what's going on anymore. But anyways, this right here. Okay, so that comes up. You can see how I'm getting extremely confused, right? And then this is this one. So see this plane right here. Oh my god, that center plane. Should I even do the rest? Probably should do the rest. It's probably very beneficial to do the rest, right? This is like, I have to keep reinforcing my understanding anyways, right? And then this cross axis, so we got, there you go, that, and then it goes through here, like so. Was this the one, this one, and that one? Fuck, I don't even know. But why is that all wonky? Where did I get this wrong? So I guess this diagonal I got wrong because I did put them in the wrong spot. See, there's all these like micro errors I've been making, right? And then this one comes through yonder, wee, and then this one. This is the fucking center, right? Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is the goddamn center, bro? I guess it's this. So much guesswork. Fuck, was that not the center? What the hell's going on here? Oh god, I see, like, there's some sort of mismatch that I can't figure out right now, because there's too much going on, and she's staring at me, she's judging me, and she's staring at me. God damn it. But either way, let's see. Fuck. And what's left? Oh yeah, this way. Invisible side. I'm telling you, like, this is fucking, it's so hard, bro. So hard to figure out. Okay, and then this plane. So yeah, these three center planes, which I really fucked up because I fucked up the diagonals many times somewhere, right? But there's that, and then we do the ellipses, right? The ellipses. So this one is, and this is something, again, another thing I have to constantly work on, seeing the ellipse correctly. So that's okay. And then we got this one right here, this horizontal one, or this vertical one. It's something like this. probably could have extended a bit outward like that, right? And then we got the horizontal one now, which is, fuck, see, I already fucked that up. Yeah, I definitely didn't do that well. But there you go. All right, and then we got the box, which covers it all. Oh, I actually fucked up the side of her head, because, like, it should have been ending here. Like, this. Yeah, the side of her head should have been like that, so I did get that right. But either way, I didn't get that right, but I did, like, I got the side right. I just didn't make her face adjust to it accordingly. But now this is this is still a difficult part, which is, like, trying to see, because you see this is, like, the 3 axes, and then it's about connecting via the intersections. So I already fucked this up, see? That, and then you bring it down, and this is this part, and then you keep going, and there you go. That's the perfect sphere. But this is basically the schema I'm trying to visualize. Ta-da! There you go. And that's what the face rests on. This intense fucking geometry is what I'm trying to visualize. Which is why we're 100 hours in, and it's probably going to be easily another 200 hours. I'm going to keep saying that. It's going to be another 100 hours in, and be like, gosh, I think it's another 200 hours. Right? Because this is my value of quote-unquote despair, which is just the sheer effort, the mountain of effort. Truly, this is the mountain of effort. Mountain of effort. But with that being said, right, I hope you tried a lot. Oh, it's been an hour and 20 minutes, Jesus Christ. I hope you tried a lot. I hope you had a lot of fun, all that good shit. Put your best effort in. And as always, yeah, rest your brain. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing. And please, give me money.